Rochester's mosque has been here on Broadway for some 20 years, meaning at least some contact with the religion of Islam and the many cultures that make it up long before the tragedy of September 11th. Cultural leaders say in the aftermath of the terrorist attacks, there were many questions about al-Qaeda, who claimed to be associated with Islam. In Rochester, Islamic followers say al-Qaeda hurt American Muslims more than anything they did. Sept is originally from Bangladesh and says suspicions toward the Islamic religion, even a decade after 9/11, has been seen in history before, with Jews in Europe around the 1930s and 40s, and even with JFK running as a Catholic president.
It's just unfortunate that history repeats, right? It's the same exact word, same exact thing, it's just a different time.
Many remind, just as former President George W. Bush adamantly said, the war on terror is not and was not a war on Islam. Religious leaders say sometimes the issue people have isn't ignorance, but a lack of contact with Muslims.
Catholics in the news, you have, all kinds of bad news about bad publicity about them. But yet you don't see people doubting anybody Catholic in their neighbor or anybody Catholic, just because you know Catholics. That doesn't happen for Islam or Muslims, because certainly there is a lack of contact with Muslims as a neighbor or as a coworker, as friends.
Tells me that Islam preaches optimism and that a decade later he genuinely believes that racial and religious tensions are getting much better throughout America. Reporting in Rochester, Gwen Siewert, KIMT News 3.